Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, group build on Grandpa Mark's Facebook page. So if you want to jump in, we still got time. Got a lot done. Let me get the guys out of the way here, and we'll start this video. Duke has taken about 1 million pictures here, so when we do a wrap-up video, when I finally finish this, it should look pretty good. Well, you can see the underside's got a lot more done to it than when we left. I got the axles on, or the rear ends on, got the front axle on, got the steering column on, the exhaust, airlines, tanks, the airlines on the side, and I also, I don't know how easy it's going to be to see this, but I ran the airlines from the airbags up and then into these two tanks, down the side and then up into the little fittings in the tanks themselves. Ran this side down and put it into this one, ran this side down and put it into that one, and then I ran a line from this tank up over and into this tank, and then from this tank I ran it out. Since there's fittings that are supposed to go up where you can't see anything, I'm figuring one of those is a supply. Just nothing's right here. You're going to have to give me the benefit of the doubt. Nothing's right, but I was just trying to add a little bit of interest to the build. So I took this line, ran it out, and down across, and then out, and that's going to be the lines for the front brakes on either side. I did the same thing on both sides here. Look how nice that weathering came out on here. I'm really happy with that. But I wanted to add some interest, just a little bit, and you really can't even see it, but I know it's there, and like a lot of things, you can't see it, but you know you did it. I used my aluminum foil tape for pipe straps. Let me grab my finger here. I haven't used it in a while. For pipe straps, and I just pushed them in place where I wanted them, and then painted them rubber black. And I got one up front here somewhere, all over the place. We did a lot of little tiny stuff like that just to really bring this up a little bit. Everything's pretty much fitting really nice except for this shock right here. This piece seems like it sat just a little bit high, but it didn't. It just would not line up. So what I ended up doing was cutting the tab off of this where it comes out, and then just kind of pushing it in place, and this will move back and forth. But I think when I painted it, the paint is actually holding it tight, so we're going to leave that alone. Everything else pushed in real good. Not happy with the way they designed the openings on these air flasks. This could have come around farther. There was no need to cut it off where they did. Really visible when you look at it from the underside. And then when it's up top, you can't even tell it's there. The diamond plate will be here. The body will be back to here. So you're really going to have to look in this way to see anything. Oh, now that I threw the diamond plate up here, I weathered that just using the Weathermaster D. I used the oil on that and just kind of rubbed it in here and there and just made it look good. That's all I'm trying to do here is make it look good. Accuracy is not even a part of this build, trust me, because I don't know enough to make it accurate. I'll admit that right now. But I am having a blast with this build. So, but there's the underside. Let me move this before I fling it across the room. The other day I striped the front end, and what that is just Tamiya's X31 titanium gold right out of the jar, thinned, and I airbrushed that with my 3mm Gallery's 3mm Mobius airbrush. It sprayed that so nice. That's about maybe 3 coats total, and it laid in there beautifully. Went all the way around the back with it. Tied it into this side. So I got first coat on the interior. I'm just using, go figure, the dark yellow for that, just because it's just, I just want to cover and make it look good. So question for everybody, should these be aluminum or should I leave them the color of the truck? Kind of not sure. Once I put these in place, I thought I should have painted that the stripe color, but I want the canisters to be the body color. And with the canisters, I'm painting the straps the flat aluminum, so they'll still look really good on there. This one, when I painted it, I did a horrible job, so it went back into the paint booth, and now it's drying. The window, I'm putting the rubber in for the windshield, the side. This is the only piece that I think should have chrome on it on the windows. I still have to do the chrome on the latches and things, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do these or not with the silver. I think I might just leave them the body color. No sense in messing them up. They look good, and they just blend in. I will kind of weather them a little bit, and I am going to do some weathering on this. It's not a brand new truck by any means, so I want to make sure that it looks the part. But so far, she's looking real good. The stripe really looks good with that green. So I'm really happy with color choices so far. The hood, same thing, double stripe. I used my white Tamiya's tape for the middle. I used the 1mm. This is a 2mm. I used the 1mm for that and just ran it all the way around. And that laid on there much better than I thought. It kind of felt like if I pushed it, it would have moved up and down, even though I had it pushed down pretty good. But no paint bled at all on this. And then after I was done, I came on and, painted on the insides here where when I lift it up, you'll be able to see. I didn't do it on the front because there's no need. The grill's going to come up here. But on the back, I painted in here where you're able to see this when it lifts up. And I also painted across this and drove it in. Just because when this is lifted up, you'll be able to see that. And I figured that'll be the brake line. It is right there. Now, I do have some plans for the front firewall. And since we're to that part, let's jump over and I'll pull the interior over and we'll talk firewall first. First coat, I forgot to paint this again. I have a problem with that. So I got a first coat on here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little box here and the other one here. We will run some lines down and into the engine bay from that. But that's looking pretty good. On the back side, I painted the tabs the green where they're going to stab through the body. And then on the interior, I asked everybody what they thought, and everybody said that looks pretty good, but I couldn't just leave well enough alone. So I went over everything. After I went over it with the brown panel liner, I let that dry for 2 days, hit it with clear. They just quick shine, real quick, real light coat. I didn't want gloss. I just wanted to seal that brown in. And I'm looking at it, getting ready to put everything together, and I thought, you know what? Let's darken it up even more with the black. And I hit it with the black, and man, am I glad I did, because it really made this look much, much better than I had it before. So the black, I had the taupe and the red brown, or a hall red, and then brown panel liner, and then clear coat, and then the black. So I figured after that, I better put this thing together now before I try to do anything else to it. I Mod Podged down a piece of t-shirt, just an old gray t-shirt that had a hole in the armpit. So I've been using it for buffing and things like that. Just put a little real fine Mod Podge over the whole thing and then put it in place. And that looks just like my navy wool blanket back in the day. So the exact look, a couple coats on for the pillow. I did a flat on that because I didn't want a shiny pillow. Just me. The interior, the dashboard, I am crazy happy with that dash. It looks fantastic in there, and I always second guess myself about dashboards. So I'm glad that I stopped where I did with that. And that's a lot of sharpened toothpicks and silver and then clear. All my breakers, I did chrome silver first. Let that dry, then went with the flat white. All the indicator lights were chrome silver first, and then the clear red, and I even did the turn signals in clear green. That worked out very well. There's some good detail in this, and with just a little bit of time, it really jumped out. This tan, that Hull red and buff that I mixed together, I'm going to remember that because that's what this wood grain is. It's just those colors, the base colors that I used on this. Then I hit it with black panel liner, and that made the lines in there because this was already grained. You know, the wood grain was molded in there. So the black panel liner went around that grain, and I let that dry for 2 days, and then came back just with the clear orange and gave it a nice wet coat. I didn't try to dry brush it on there. I gave it a nice wet coat on the wood, and then after that was dry, I went in and I started doing the bezels and all the lights and the details and on gauges and all that. So there's like 4 or 5 days worth of fiddling with it just to be able to see, the gauges and stuff. But it's only, 10 minutes here, 2 minutes there, 5 minutes there, and then about an hour to do all the detail work on the gauges. So I did leave the steering wheel black. I wanted it to be black like that. I talked myself into panel lining the flat aluminum, and I'm glad I did, because now if you look real close, you can see all those little bolts on the steering wheel hub and things like that. So she's coming along very well. And then we kind of went into the Revell sobriety test and tried to make these wheels presentable. And I'll tell you what, I used everything from sticky tack to cotton balls to paper towels, toilet paper. Robert sent me some of the foam, and that's what's in there now. And this is really what made it look this good, is this foam. I cut it to 4 3/8 of an inch long, and pushed it all the way around inside there, and then put everything together. And you can see it's like they should be molded this way. Instead, they just sit there and they just don't fit well at all. And I'm not kidding. I bet you I have 2 hours, maybe 3 hours messing with these things before I finally just gave up on the sobriety test, and I ordered the ones from Mobius for the truck, and I'm really glad I did. Look at the tread line on those are great. They fit together really well. I mean, look at the difference between them. They fit together real well. They look good. They're nice and deep. They look the part. The front rims look really good. No panel liner or anything on these at all. I just put them together. What I did do though is when I was putting them together, these are two-piece. This piece goes in, and then there's a little beauty ring that goes in the back. And they just didn't go tight together. So I took Quick Shine and this brush right here, which is a triple aught. I don't even know where I got it. I think I got a pack of these online once, a long time ago. But I dipped that down into the Quick Shine to where I had a little bead of Quick Shine on the end here, and slowly put it on here, and it sucked off of the brush, and then I worked it into that crack and pulled that crack together. These, the inner wheels, are even thinner than this beauty ring. And man, I'll tell you what, they did not want to lock in. So I did the same thing with them, with just the Quick Shine, because I didn't want to use super glue or anything like that, because I didn't want it off-gassing and messing up the chrome. So the same thing here. I got that Quick Shine into here all the way around, and then when I put these together, they kind of, after I let it dry for, oh shoot, 3 hours maybe, I went to put the two halves together, and they're supposed to just push together, but they really, only this one I think is the only one that really held together. The rest of them they just kind of would pull back apart. So I put my gloss Mod Podge in between the two and smashed them together. You know, just pushed them together, and then I clamped them together with, well, the bigger set of these. And that held them really, you know, it held them together. The Mod Podge took, I don't know, overnight. I let it go to dry. And then today they fit together pretty good. They're holding real nice and tight. So it just needed a little extra there to hold them together. And I want to say that for the 10 tires, it was like 20 bucks. And to be honest with you, I don't like spending extra on a kit other than the paint and like the solder and things like that. So this was a huge decision for me. But after all the work and the messing around, this was not going to fly. And honestly, the whole thing just about went in the box, because I wasn't going to put this up with these tires showing like that. They're just, Revell could have done better, and I don't complain too much about kits, but that drove me nuts trying to get them right. So I should have just spent the 20 bucks right off the rip, but you know, I got to try for myself, because I was told they suck, and everybody's right. They do. So enough about the wheels, and I got one more thing to show you, and then I'll let you go. There's the two tanks on the outside of the truck. If somebody could please tell me what these are used for. I know the one on the big one's the air filter, and I'm thinking this is an oil filter, but I'm not sure. So I'd love for somebody to tell me. I decided to leave it the green, even though it's going to be sitting up in the stripe. And I left this one the green too. It's over there. It didn't paint well, so it's drying. But I left it that color, and I put the flat aluminum stripes on these. I do plan on just barely hitting these with black panel liner. And then I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like a dipstick or what it is. So I could use some help on that. If anybody wants to make a comment, I'd appreciate it. And with that, I want to thank everybody for the kind words and helping me through this and letting me know what different things like that are, and what I should be doing. I know this isn't 100% right. This is probably not even 5% right for the stuff that I'm doing with it. But, but I wanted to thank everybody. My attempt at hand painting the Peterbilt on the front. So it still needs clear, but I'm going to leave it the way, leave it there. But yeah, thank you very much. And with that, if I could get a subscribe or anything, we're getting real close to 5,000 subscribers, guys. And I can't thank everybody enough for this. So with this, I'll let you go. Y'all have a great day, a better tomorrow, and thank you very much for watching.